have a special guest who is out there promoting beer and pretzels.
That's right.
So, welcome. Tell us a bit
Thank
about
you.
yourself.
So, hello, James. Thank you for having me. My name is Jacob. I am the beer and pretzel guy on Instagram. Born in Atlanta, an Atlanta native. Grew up in the Buford Highway, North Druid Hills area. Married for 28 years. I have a daughter. Um, just really happy to talk to you today about beer and pretzels and why it's important to me.
Well, welcome, Jacob. You were talking about how you were your whole family. You were talking about your family. Do they all like this kind of beer pretzel thing?
So, my wife does not like beer. She's more of a cocktail person.
Okay.
My daughter likes cocktails. She likes some beers, but funny thing is, as my account grew, my wife became known as the pretzel queen, and my daughter is now the pretzel nugget. So as we go around and I'll introduce them to people as we're at breweries, that's how they like to be introduced.
So I've got to ask, how did you get interested in doing an influencer or content creator with beer and pretzels?
So back in 2021, I owned a property and sold it. And we were celebrating this success at Tucker Brewing. And in the beer garden there, it's lovely.
Right.
And we were eating pretzel, drinking beer, and my daughter said, "What are you going to do now?" Because I used to run the house as a short-term rental. And she said, "Maybe you can do a Instagram account related to beer and pretzels. You like beer, you like pretzels. It's kind of niche. Let's see what you can do with that." So that's where the account was born, at the beer garden at Tucker Brewing.
Well, that's really cool. So, what type of are you? So, you're on Instagram and Facebook and
TikTok.
TikTok. What do you think's gonna happen with TikTok? I guess we could talk about that
Yeah.
forever. So, do you find which platform do you kind
I
of
am
find?
primarily on Instagram.
Instagram.
And through there, as the account started growing, I've created some great relationships, met some amazing people, actually started a content creator group page or group chat where we've met at different breweries. We come together, we discuss ideas, we talk about different strategies for growing your brand. So it's been very cool.
Now, have you done the DeKalb? What is the East Side Hops Trail? Right? Have you done the East Side Hops
I
Trail?
have not.
Because that's a DeKalb
Yeah.
brew pub trail.
I would love to do that.
So,
So if you can help me out, let me know. I'm happy to do it. I've done a few beer trails, but nothing formalized. More on my own, where I'll go through different towns and I'll hit a different couple of breweries here or there. So
you've probably done a lot of the places, just not really thought
right,
about it under this particular
right,
trail.
like a formal trail day.
Right. Well,
So
that's pretty cool. So you're out, and so this has been a few years.
right. The account started in 2021, and if you would ask like what my why is, like why am I doing this, I feel like beer is something that brings people together at a brewery. Like why are people congregating? They're with friends, they're with family. Same thing with a pretzel. It's usually pretzels are very large. If you've been to Tucker, you've seen the pretzel. It's huge.
Well, that's what I was thinking before
Yeah,
you came. I was thinking the giant, like German style pretzels or
yeah,
something. I don't know what
yeah.
style, but
Bavarian style.
yeah.
I mean, I could probably eat the whole thing. I've probably eaten more than pretzels than most average people. But I always say that I like to enjoy it more with friends. You kind of break it apart. You're dipping it in mustard or cheese, or don't like either one. Some people have different sauces. So that's kind of why it started. Like, and I've always wanted to make sure that I'm having fun while I'm doing this. So
Hmm.
I'm always out and about and just having a good time. Meeting different people. Handing out my stickers. Um, I feel like there's a connection with beer and going to breweries and people that enjoy just going out and participating in that kind of a fun activity.
So I like one of these questions on here. How does beer and pretzels help tourists experience local culture?
Well, when I travel, I mean, like we're going to New York soon, so I'm like, I want to see like what are the places I can go in New York and have beer and pretzels. So, like I can mention a few. We're going to like a beer garden called Lower Lee in the Lower East Side. We're going to Treadwell Park, also near the Battery, near the Statue of Liberty. They have a pretzel that's so huge. It's just one of those kind of unique things. It's everyone kind of knows it, but not everyone, I guess, craves it. But there are some really unique kind of pretzels throughout the country that I've traveled to, and like as I said, if I'm going to visit anywhere, Vegas or Chicago, Miami, I'd like to find out like what's the cool brewery in town, like what's the place to go hit up and go grab a pretzel. That's what I would do.
So I would say when I'm out, I'm more of experiencing the cheese trays or cheese
Okay.
displays.
Yep.
But before the show, I was trying to think about, because I was thinking again the big pretzels.
Yep.
So I was like, okay, some of the best pretzels I've ever had is at the airport in Lansing, Michigan.
Okay.
Interesting enough. The airport at Buffalo, and then at the Lowe's Hotel in Milwaukee.
All right.
And that's what I'm thinking of the best pretzels I've ever had.
Yeah.
Of course, those are a lot of cheese areas, so
Right.
you kind of.
So one of the big debates is: are you team cheese or are you team mustard? So I've done that poll several times. Mostly it leans on team cheese.
I would think so.
I am team mustard.
Oh, okay.
It's not that I have an allergy or anything. I just have an aversion. I just don't care for cheese. I know that's everyone shocked.
So what type of mustard? Are you in just a plain yellow
Yellow,
mustard?
well, Dijons, stone ground, a little honey. Sometimes they'll mix it with like bacon, any kind of mustard. So I am definitely team mustard. You have some honey mustard pretzels if you want.
I was sitting there thinking about this honey mustard pretzel.
Yeah.
The official pretzel of beer.
Right. So
Now that's pretty darn cool.
that's pretty darn good.
You see this on the camera here. Then we're gonna
Yeah.
try some of these pretzels out.
Naughty pretzels.
The naughty pretzels.
So-
Knotty
Right.
pretzels. That's
Vi-
pretty cool.
Very punny. Some would
Yeah.
say that I'm very naughty and twisted, as pretzels are a little salty also.
Did you find them or did they find you?
Kind of found one another. I think I found them first. They're at different breweries around town, and I grabbed a bag, and then I think I posted about them in several places, and then the company said, "Oh, we should work together because you're from the Atlanta area, and we're from the Atlanta area, and I should highlight them." So I highlight them wherever I can. So they're very good. They have a lot of flavors. Ranch is my favorite. They have a new flavor called sea salt, which is
I bet those
delicious.
would be good too.
It's really good.
I got to try one.
Okay,
Let's sit here and
let's eat some
try
pretzels.
these.
I guess we got a crunch.
Now you can hear the crunch.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try this.
They're real good.
This is gonna be my lunch.
Okay.
That's really good. I like that. We'll see how it goes with coffee. Pretzels and coffee. Everything goes with coffee for me. So
So here's a funny story. So we were in Baltimore, and I love donuts, and we were going to go to get a donut at a bakery for our breakfast. We found this bakery, and they had a cold. They called it a brew donut.
a brew donut.
A brew donut. It wasn't cold brew, it was just brew donut. And I'm like immediately thinking in my head, this is a beer donut, right?
I would have thought that.
It's got to be a beer donut. So we get there, of course, it's the other brew, which is coffee. So I enjoyed the donut, but it wasn't a beer donut. But it was really good.
The funny thing with me is you would think that I would like everything coffee related because I am addicted to coffee. I mean, it's like coffee and tea, but I don't like anything that's coffee taste other than coffee. But you like the beer taste in like
And other
donuts.
things. Yep.
So what all do you go out and do? I mean, you've been to the Tucker Brew Pub is where you got your start. So
Yep.
what's kind of like a weekend
So,
for you?
so it's kind of evolved. I go to a lot of festivals. There's lots of beer festivals. There's brunch festivals. So I go to all of those. I'm invited to go, and I also do a lot of giveaways for tickets. So I'll go to an event. I'll meet people, socialize, create content, and then usually post-event I'll highlight this is why you should go next year, because most of the events are a really great time.
Now, did you have this in the back of your mind? Hey, I'm going to be a content creator. I'm going to be an influencer.
Absolutely not. No. So I am goal oriented, and not that my daughter said, "Oh, this won't go anywhere," but I don't never had aspirations. I'd be sitting on a podcast that I would almost have 10,000 followers. That I had a reel with 450,000 views.
Oh wow!
I never thought these things would happen, but things just started to take off, and I had time to do this as a little side hustle, and I was meeting great people. So we keep saying, as long as we're having fun, as long as we're doing the things that we like, and this is opening doors for us, let's just let it roll and let's see where it goes. And here we are.
Now, does the family kind of help in the posts and all?
My wife, if we were talking about cheese and mustard, she is my cheese lover. So all of my posts that you see, if you're seeing a cheese dip or a cheese being eaten, that's my wife Karen. So she's a huge supporter, my biggest supporter. She's taking shots of me as if I'm doing something silly, I'm dancing or doing something crazy. She's usually on the other side of the camera. So
yeah, the first time to know who you were before I got in the show, we were actually pulling up you dancing at this festival, and I thought, well, that's pretty cool.
I just like to have fun. I mean, I feel like there's no barriers. I just, obviously the beer helps a little bit to get loose, if you will. And I wouldn't say that I'm the stereotypical whatever that age range is for a content creator. I'm in my mid 50s. But I like to still have a good time, and people seem to engage with it. So it's fun.
Well, I think that's real exciting.
Yeah.
Your new activity to keep it going and get out and visit all the events.
Yeah.
So that's very cool.
Right. I just did a giveaway for another pretzel company, and I was on my deck dancing again. So I kind of have this thing now for dancing when I go to an event. I think people are going to be looking for me to do a little bit of a dance. So I kind of like that. We'll see how far that takes me with my dance moves. I wouldn't say that I'm great, but I got some moves.
So you've got the pretzel. Were they your first sponsor?
Naughty Pretzel was.
Naughty Pretzel was the very first sponsor.
Yeah.
So you probably can't take any other pretzel sponsors, I'm assuming.
Well, I'm not. I don't have a sole contract with them. So one of the things that I do like doing also is helping some other small businesses. So you're familiar with Snyder's and you're familiar with Rolled Gold and all these big companies, but there's quite a few small companies that do pretzels. Lots of them are in Pennsylvania. There's some up in the Northeast, and I'll help them. We'll do giveaways. They'll send me product. I'll try it at the house. I'll try it with a beer, and we're trying just really to get them, highlighted on my page as far as like, hey, I'm a small business. I sell pretzels. Here's a pretzel content creator. We should be friends. So. We do giveaways, we do, sales promotions. So one of my things that really wasn't part of the plan was helping small businesses.
Well, that's very cool, though.
Yeah.
So this one's out of Marietta.
This one's in Marietta. I say they're a pretty big company. So, but yeah.
Very nice. So any big festivals you're going to be coming up to soon?
I'm going to Dunwoody. I'm going to Dunwoody for Green Eggs and Kegs.
What exactly is that?
Green Eggs and Kegs?
Yeah.
So basically it's, if you like smoked foods, so basically everything that all of the vendors are sharing is cooked on the Big Green Egg.
Oh, okay. Big Green Egg.
Yeah.
Okay. I get that.
And of course there's the kegs part is the beer, but they have cocktails and they have all kinds of stuff. So I'll be there. I'll be there on National Pretzel Day, which is April 26th. So I have two big events every year. April 26th is National Pretzel Day. April 7th is National Beer Day. But then Oktoberfest.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's like 3 weeks of, finding beer and pretzel. Everyone feels like they're German. They want to put on their lederhosen and their dirndls and they're dancing and they're doing all this fun stuff. So there was I think I was at Wild Heaven. Excuse me, Wild Leap. We'll fix that. I was at Wild Leap, and I had my little lederhosen on, and obviously everyone was looking at me, but it was a good time.
So doesn't Stone Mountain have a Oktoberfest?
They do. I've never been. I'd love to go.
Also, that'd be a natural. You got that the German restaurant there, and
Yep. Yeah, I've been to that German restaurant, not as beer and pretzel guy, but I've been there. I think it's called the Village Corner, something like that.
something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I'm assuming you've been to the Helen event then.
I have been to the Helen event. So Helen's amazing for beer and pretzels. You start on one side, and it's like doing a beer crawl. You kind of just end up on one side or the other. So Helen's amazing.
I think Helen's amazing too because it wasn't created as a German village because Germans were creating it.
Right.
It was just chosen as a great marketing tool, and I thought,
Yeah.
man, that's very neat.
Yeah.
Because it works. It's very successful.
Yeah. Fun fact, my wife and I, our first date was in Helen, Georgia. We went to Paul's Steakhouse, which is still there today, right there on the river.
Very neat.
Yeah.
So, any other big plans? You're doing the Pretzel Day, you're
Yep.
doing Beer Day, you're doing Oktoberfest.
So National Pretzel Day, like I said, was April 26th. Last year, I'm trying to make this really big for my page. Last year, we were in Washington, D.C. I figured it's National Pretzel Day, so I have to be in the nation's capital.
Makes
so
sense.
my wife and I were visiting some family in the area, and we took a pretzel. We boarded our flight. I had a pretzel in my backpack. And then we immediately hit all of the monuments. So you'll see me. I'm running through the Washington Monument, holding a pretzel, screaming, "It's National Pretzel Day!" And then we go to the Lincoln Memorial, and I'm screaming, "It's National Pretzel Day!" And everyone's looking at me like, "Who is this guy?" It got really good views. So this year for National Pretzel Day, I'm going to New York City. So we'll be doing stuff in Times Square. I'll be stuff with Statue of Liberty. I'll be
You have to get a pretzel suit.
a pretzel suit.
I don't know what the devil that would be. But,
No, I like that.
you
Well,
know.
I might run with that.
Especially when you mentioned New York City, because last time I was there, had everybody in their costumes.
Everybody's got
and
a costume.
It's like, got to be a big pretzel.
That's a good idea. I like that.
I don't know what it would look like.
I don't know.
I guess it looked like a pretzel, but
I could be a pretzel stick, but that
There
might
you
not.
go.
I think the official shape it's more
Yeah.
recognizable. So
because I know my kids will buy me these pretzel sticks, and I'm like, that isn't what I wanted.
yeah. Well, one of the things about pretzels is there's different shapes, all kinds of flavors. One of the things that I wanted to talk about was unique pretzels.
What's that?
Well, there's. Have you ever heard of a pretzel biscuit?
Yes.
Or a pretzel croissant?
Well, I've heard more of a pretzel bread, pretzel
Okay.
buns.
Pretzel buns. So
But
pretzel
not-
buns. So on one of my travels, we were in West Virginia. In,
Oh, where?
Harper's Ferry.
Up in the Panhandle. I'm from West Virginia,
Bolivar.
Huntington.
In Bolivar. There's a bakery there called Bolivar Bread. And they did a pretzel biscuit. But they also did, for National Pretzel Day, they did a huge pretzel that was the size of a pizza box. And they invited me down to come and try out some of their pretzel stuff. And it did really well also. And then we were in Maui. And I went to Maui Bread Company. And they do a pretzel croissant that's
Oh, now that would be
it's
good.
it's buttery, flaky, salty. It's delicious.
That would be really good.
Yeah. So that would be next level pretzel. Like everyone thinks they know a pretzel, but until you've had a pretzel biscuit and a pretzel croissant.
So you're talking Hawaii. There's this 24/7 restaurant,
Okay.
and it's right in Waikiki area. I think it's in the Hilton, and they're like famous for their pancakes. But now you got me thinking you should make a pretzel pancake.
That sounds good.
I mean, that
You
would be
could do it.
very
Yeah.
cool.
You could change up the flour a little bit, put a little salt on there.
Yeah.
That sounds delicious.
Monica, that's what we need. We need a pretzel pancake for the office. Bring them over and you
Yeah.
cook it. And
I mean, the
do you
butter.
cook? Okay, so Monica can make us a pretzel pancake. It's going to be the next time we have the show, and you come back and we'll have Monica's pretzel pancake.
Yeah, I'll get on it.
There you
sounds
go.
good. But no, I like the idea. I like taking something like what's the famous one, like a croissant cookie or the cruffin, where they were taking one thing and another thing and making it a hybrid. So this pretzel pancake has got some legs. I like it.
Man, I think that would be very cool. We need to be the originator of that, the pretzel pancake.
What are we going to call it?
The pretzel cake?
Pretzel cake or
Pretzel
pencil?
pencil? We got to come up
We
with
got
a
to
name
come up
now.
with a name.
Yeah.
So
It's going to be the Discover the Cab presents.
yeah, we'll find
With
we'll find a
So
restaurant.
what's your
there.
official title again? What's the name of your podcast?
I'm the beer and pretzel guy.
So on your Facebook, Instagram, and all, is it the Beer Pretzel Guy?
The Beer and Pretzel Guy.
So everybody can find you that way.
Yep.
Do you have like a YouTube where you?
I don't. I mean, I feel like there's all kinds of things I'm not doing. Maybe I'll get there. Just haven't tried it yet, but primarily on Instagram.
Yeah, what hits a lot more the younger market.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. I think with here on Instagram, you probably got it pretty well covered. Especially with us not knowing what the devil's going to happen with TikTok.
Yeah. Yeah. It's there. It's not there.
Yeah. You still should have like a LinkedIn page, the Pretzel Guy.
Yeah. I did buy the rights to the website. I haven't created anything there yet, but early on, someone said, you should just buy the website, thebeerandpretzelguy.com. So maybe I'll sell it down the road for $1 million, but I don't know.
There you go.
Right now, nothing's there. I could create it.
Well, I guess to do the beerpretzelguy.com, it could go to your Instagram page.
Yeah. Sounds like some work. Sounds like something to do. So,
Put your daughter on the show.
my daughter. I need an intern. Maybe I'll hire a summer intern.
There you go. All the pretzels and beer you can drink.
Yeah. Build me
maybe
a webpage.
all the pretzels you can eat.
Yeah. No, I feel like everyone has like a superpower. Like what can you do? Like I can get you some pretzels. Like
Yeah.
that's my superpower.
There you go. So what we do on the show is we're trying to ask, if someone came up to you and said, I'm going to be in DeKalb for another day or two,
Mm-hmm.
what's the must-see or must-eat or must-do
Sure.
in DeKalb?
Sure.
And it can be anywhere in DeKalb.
Sure.
What would you tell them?
I would say go to Tucker Brewing. Hopefully it's a really pretty day. Go to the beer garden, order a beer, a lager, pilsner, whatever you like. Get the pretzel, grab some friends, go out there, and hopefully there's some music, and enjoy your day. I mean, it's a beautiful experience. Kids friendly.
Yeah.
There's something on TV, but it's a whole day. Just go out there and have a great old time.
And they're starting to book a lot of acts and all to entertain while you're there.
It's
So that's
beautiful.
pretty cool.
And last year, I'm not going to do it this year unless someone really tells me I have to. But last year I ran they did a 5K, and I was running with Tucker, who's the brewer, and I was trying to keep up, and I couldn't keep up with him. I'm like and at the end, I finished, and there's a really funny shot of this woman and her baby in a stroller finishing right as I'm finishing, right at the 30-minute mark. And I'm like, wow, the lady in the stroller beat me. But anyway, Tucker does a lot of great stuff. So
When you have like maybe not say a number two, but what would be your other go-to for a brew pub?
Another location? I would say Outrun in Stone Mountain. They do a lot of IPAs, so Tucker doesn't do a lot of the IPAs that I like. So Outrun does a lot of nice IPAs.
So you can have two totally different experiences.
It's very different
types of
experiences.
beers.
Yeah, two different kinds of beers. It's a different vibe at Outrun. It's more of a fun party, more of an 80s, 90s vibe than Tucker's more of a German, more traditional kind of style.
Very cool. Now, let's say people are listening to us or they're watching us and they go, I've got to have this guy on at my festival or something. How do they really contact you?
So they can reach me. They go to Instagram. There's an email button or contact me. I'm thebeerandpretzelguy@gmail.com. I am at thebeerandpretzelguy on Instagram. Either way, I will promise to respond promptly. I'd be excited to go to any events. I have been invited to a few Oktoberfests. I just can't make it to all of them. Usually it's like, yeah, we'd love for you to come, but there's no travel budget.
Yeah.
So I just have to make the decision if I want to go. One thing we didn't talk about was the Oktoberfest, which is in, of course, Germany, in Munich. I will be in Munich this October.
Wow.
But not for Oktoberfest.
Okay.
I'm going a little bit after, but I feel like I'll do my own Oktoberfest. I mean, I'll get the pretzels, I'll do the beer, I'll go to the halls, and it's very exciting. It was one of the dream trips. My wife and I were going to go do a Europe, a little Germany, some Switzerland, and Italy. So excited for that. More to come for beer and pretzel. There will be mini beer and pretzels, Swiss style, maybe some fondue dipping, or we're going to.
That's just too cool. I didn't know you could have beer and pretzels this many different ways.
Oh yeah.
It would be neat to have you in You said Munich,
Yep, we're gonna go to Munich. It's our first stop
but be there for real.
for real Oktoberfest. That would be nice.
Yeah.
We can make that happen.
Well, maybe when you're in Munich this time, you can make connections. They'll bring you back
Right.
for.
One of the great things about Instagram is the international aspect of it. So
Right.
I've thought about, I need friends in Germany. I need friends in different places. So I've reached out to breweries and people that are influencers, content creators in those locations, just to make those connections. And, so there was one person that said, come over to Germany. We'll go to the beer hall. I'll buy you a beer. And when she found out that I was going to be in Munich for only a couple of nights, she was kind of taken back that I wasn't going to be there for long enough. She says, there's so much to see in Munich. You're only going to give me 2 nights.
Yeah.
She lives kind of far away. She says, I don't think I can make it. And I'm like, oh, sorry. But yeah, there's lots of people that I can meet, and I will definitely be handing out stickers. I'll learn some German, at least to introduce myself to the right people.
So what are you going to do for FIFA World Cup next year?
Yeah. I don't know. It's
Especially if we get some German clubs over here. You need to do something.
Yeah. So I will be on the lookout for all kinds of opportunities there. So
Very neat.
Yeah.
Well, we're glad you came to the show.
Thank you, James, for
Thank
having
you
me.
for bringing
Enjoy your
the
lunch.
Naughty Pretzels
Yep.
from right here in Georgia.
Yep.
And thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
And when we get this pancake, that
Yep.
pretzel pancake that Monica's going to make, and come back, and we got to eat it right here on the show.
I actually make it. My wife is a really good baker, cook. So we're gonna try it at the home. We're gonna try it at the house, and I'll let you know how it
You're
is.
going to have a new thing now,
Yeah,
the pretzel pancake.
we're gonna do it.
Can I figure out how you tie in? Is there like a beer?
Oh, there's sweet beers. There's nice stouts.
Could be
That goes-
like the syrup.
Oh yeah, that's
Well, very
stout
interesting.
syrup. Yeah,
I like that.
We're gonna run. I'm gonna make this happen.
Well, thanks for being on our show.
Thanks
We're
for
very
having me.
excited.
Yep.
Love to have you back for this beer pretzel pancake.
Yep.
And please tune in to our next show and go out and get you some Naughty Pretzels
Let's
with
do
the
it.
Beer Pretzel Guy,
The official pretzel of beer.
the official pretzel of beer, on the official Beer Pretzel Guy Instagram page.
That's right.
Thanks
you.
for being with us.
Thanks, James.
Please join in again.
Appreciate it.